This is just reality. I'm just being straight up with you guys. It's time for part 2 of the bathroom makeover. If you missed part 1, go back, watch it over, and catch up to where I'm at right now on this bathroom project. In my last video, you saw that I left with a bathroom that wasn't quite heading the right direction. So I showed you my design process of how I got inspiration from Pinterest. I showed you some of my inspiration pictures, but I never showed you my final Photoshop mock-up. So here is what I did with all my inspiration pictures, took a photo of my bathroom, did a Photoshop mock-up of what I'm thinking. And I am so excited to put this together. So let's get started. First, I just prep the space as needed. You can just throw down a drop cloth if you need, tape up anything you need. I removed the cabinet, and then we're gonna jump into creating this accent wall. Now, if you guys have ever looked into creating a shiplap wall in your house, you may have kind of studied, okay, where do I buy the shiplap? And you may have realized it has a hefty price tag. It's really cute, but if you get the actual shiplap boards, they can run anywhere from like $13 to $23 a board, which is insane and not something that I was ready to pay. Yucca board is a lot cheaper. I got 2 4-foot by 8-foot sheets of it, and I had the Lowe's employee cut it into 5-inch strips because I wanted my shiplap to be 5-inch thick. And I took it home and I started painting it. I used Greenblack by Sherwin-Williams in the finish Eggshell. Now, one thing I will say, I had to have it cut at Lowe's because I don't have a table saw. If you do, I would use that. Don't have them cut it at Lowe's. I had a bad experience. Some of the pieces were not quite straight, and of course that messed up the design. It was really hard. I could not level anything out, so I just did my best. It's not perfectly straight up and down, but you know what? It still looks just fine in my opinion. And once I got all the boards on the wall, I just used a little piece of trim to cover up where it met the ceiling line, and it looks a lot more finished from there. And then I just added my floor trim back on as well. I am almost done with this wall. I put the ceiling trim and the floor trim back on. What I need to do now is give it a good wipe down because it's a dusty mess. I guess I need to give myself a wipe down too because I'm a mess, but I need to do that. I need to finish painting in between each piece of shiplap and fill in nail holes and paint over those. This is the biggest part of the project. So once we get this done, we should be able to start actually putting things all back together. Next thing I did was paint the cabinet the same exact color. Took the doors off, did the outside, and then put it all back together, and then we hung it back on the wall. For the hardware, I found these matte black tools. These were from Lowe's. They were like the cheapest ones there, but I didn't want them to be black, so I just used Rub and Buff in antique gold and went over them real quick. It only took 1 coat for each one. It was a really fast process and completely changed the look of the hardware. So I showed you guys how I was thinking I wanted to stain the vanity a darker color. I was so nervous about doing this because I didn't want to take it out of the bathroom. I just wanted to leave it in place. I wasn't gonna like haul it downstairs. I wasn't gonna take apart the drain and everything. So I just wanted to like leave it as it was. So I took some painter's tape and I taped around the bottom where it met the floor because I don't want to get stain on the floor. And then I took a plastic drop cloth and just taped that down as well all around. Then I took some sandpaper and just lightly sanded it down, nothing crazy. It had wood veneer on it, so I couldn't stain it too much because I didn't want to sand off the veneer. Then I took Minwax stain in the color Jacobean. And remember to wear your gloves while doing this. I just took a foam brush and put the stain on, and then I took an old rag and just quickly wiped it off to get the desired color. Then I just took water-based polyurethane and brushed, I think, just 1 coat of that on as well. I took off the tape and added the same hardware to that as well. After hanging up the mirror that you saw me make in the previous video, I was starting to think about decorating and how to finish this bathroom off. And one thing I wanted to do was just put some wall art on the back wall. So I'll show you how I did that. I had these 2 frames. I got them for free. You can also look for frames from the thrift store. And I took them apart and spray painted them black. Then I just got these posters. It's just like, you know, a generic poster from the dollar store. And I used the glass from the frame as a reference and cut the paper to size so it would fit. And I wanted to add a little bit of texture to the paper. So I took some chalk paint and mixed it with water. And then I used just a dry brush. I swirled it around in the water. And then I used like, it's almost like, have you seen people do lime wash on their wall? That's kind of what I did. I just did like crisscross motions with this watered down paint the whole way across the page, and it gave me a really cool kind of like aged paper effect. Then you might think I'm crazy, but I was inspired by some of these wall art designs I saw that were literally just like natural textile artwork. So I went to Walmart and I found these placemats from Better Homes and Gardens. You can find these online. They're only like $3 a piece, and they're like these really like nice woven placemats. So literally, guys, all I did was I took this placemat, I hot glued it into the center of the paper, and that was my artwork. I didn't have a backing for the frame, so all I did was duct tape it in place. When all else fails, just use some duct tape. I cannot believe how this bathroom turned out. So are you guys ready? This is the final reveal of my bathroom makeover. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this inspires you. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg to create a space that you love. This is the biggest project I've done so far, and I plan on doing more like it. So now is a great time to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like this video for more to come. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video.